Wrapped.
My favorite game of all time.
How many?
Same.
Does it say? Oh, 197 hours. Damn, that is weak. That is seriously weak.
Did they actually have BO3 ones on
That's
their
not
website?
bad.
Oh, they did.
I'm not gonna say my playtime.
Because that's
It's
only
bad, bro.
pubs. Like I played heaps of custom games.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah, I had about 25 days in pubs, and I must have had at least that again in customs.
Alright, here's
It
mine.
was. It was.
What does it say?
Man. Black Ops 3. What a
I
time.
played time
Have you got the
1,600
restream link,
hours.
Omar? The chat link. Oh, good. Damn, actually, fuming. It wouldn't let me find. I mean, I can log on and find them. I remember I did a video that's probably still on my main channel, which is my Black Ops 2 end of life cycle stat. Wait, is this on my channel?
Wait, are we gonna do the breaking point like community account like between us and see how many levels we can get on launch week?
I think so.
That'd be
I
good.
remember-
I don't know
I
if
remember
we
we-
play much, but that'd be good.
I remember we brought it
Yeah.
up, but I didn't know if we were actually gonna do it. I would actually be 100% down for that.
Yeah, hard. I agree. Holy shit, you played heaps, Con.
That was my first
Jeez.
COD, bro. So I was like
fair
garbage when I
enough.
first played it.
Yeah, honestly, I was so bad when I first played Black Ops 2. I was so like, oh, he's already redeemed a HyDra Kismet. We haven't even started yet.
I'm
Are we
messing
on?
200k
Wait, were
kills.
we? Hang on, I need to check what the screen.
Are we on screen yet?
I was just gonna say I'm bringing that up. I'm watching a bloody advert, baby. Team Red versus Team Grey. Oh, they can't see us. They can't see us. What's good? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Me and Austin are Team Grey, and then Crone and Line are Team Bulls. Team Chicago Bulls.
Yes, sir.
Damn, I'm kind of not in the camera, huh? Let me go.
Team
Let me do that.
Bulls.
Let's go, baby. We're back. Come on.
The whole squad's
Team
back.
Grey,
When was the
oh,
last
yeah.
time we had
Yeah, this is a
four?
full squad. Full squad today.
2v2s. Well, we have the height advantage.
Oh yeah, you kind of do. Crone's actually
Little bit.
tall as fuck.
I mean,
What are
you're
you like,
taller than me,
6'5" or something?
6'6".
6'6". She
Yeah, he's
I'm
got
getting old,
fucking
though.
advantage.
I'm getting old, so I might be 6'5" now.
Is that how it works? What age do you start losing inches?
When you start
You don't
curving
want-
back.
Now
You don't
your
wanna
back
lose
starts
inches.
curving, you know. Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot about the Mexican thing. Oh, that is actually unbelievable. That is actually an all-time classic. One day that's going to get me cancelled, but hopefully not yet.
Now, some of the
You
time
know
the shit
me?
I say, I'm like, I'm gonna be cancelled in a year. You know, all the times I say the C word and all those types of things.
I don't know, man. That's a great thing though. Look at that. You can see the dressing gown. This is in Swindon right here. Oh, I'm not fully on the camera, but I'm all good. Yeah, this is the Swindon house. What a time. Hit it with the cheeky retweet with the lads. Doug with the. It's funny actually. I just looked at my pictures and I was just sorting by recent, and I just see Doug. There's another Doug one. It's a few good Doug ones from the last week or so. So it's no real surprise. But yeah. Wait, what is that? Like, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, I made that like 3 years ago.
Wow, that's actually really cool. Courage
is.
Shrek, what is this? I love how like Eggs is looking up at him as if he's actually looking up at him. That's actually great. Alright, good stuff.
Stupid.
Alright, fantastic. I reckon let's get cracking, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome Twitch and YouTube fellas. Hello Brendo from Rio. Damn, Rio, they've got the CS major in Rio soon, right?
Mhm.
And obviously Sao Paulo is hosting the first like Valorant event next season, so esports is going big in Brazil. Let's go. Yeah, vamos. No, it's not even Portuguese. I don't know. Portuguese must be kind of similar, huh? I don't know. All I know from like GeoGuessr is that Portuguese, you get the little thing under the C, and then it's like the A, the squiggle over the A is different in Spanish and Portuguese. So when you're on GeoGuessr and you're trying to figure out whether you're in which country you're in, and you see the thing under the C, you think, damn, this is Brazil or this is Portugal. Pro tip. crimsix has got to take notes. Okay, let's go. Episode number. This is definitely wrong on the stream, right? Oh no, is it 84? 84. Cool, awesome, let's go. Crony, good. You praying
on 100.
praying to the Lords?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're closing in. Definitely closing in. Okay, cool. I'll do a countdown. We got the topics over here. Let's go. 84. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, tacticalrab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome to the 84th episode of the Breaking Point podcast. We're back. We've got the full cast today, the full lineup, and there's a surprising amount to talk about. Doug has been going rogue. We've got some confirmations still with rostermania, with HyDra and Kismet now confirmed to be joining the subliners for next season. Yet again, we've got some other talk on that as well. Plenty to discuss. We're back in business, fellas. How's it going? It's, as someone mentioned in the chat, Team Grey versus Team Red today. We've got the Chicago Bulls boys, both from New Zealand. Lion, how we doing? I like your background.
Oh, thank you. Yep, back in the space station. And it's been a long time since I've been on this podcast. 3 weeks exactly. A lot of shit has gone down. I mean, the censor shit, so exciting. We'll get into that very soon. But personally, I've just been doing radio. And now I'm back in the lab and I'm ready to talk some pod content.
Let's go. Crone, how's it going?
I'm good, bro. This podcast is pretty much my only job at the moment, even though I don't get paid. But still looking for a job, boys. Still unemployed. Someone hire me, please, for the love of God. Your kids to feed. Come on.
Yeah, hopefully I actually mind blown the none of these CDL teams. I think get Crone a sub spot in the league. I think. I mean, I see you've been playing Vanguard.
If
You got
Mania
Modern
can do
Warfare
it,
2
you
on
can.
the way. Yeah, actually.
I should play Vanguard last night. I played one game. I went 62 and 29, and I logged off because we lost.
That's what I'm
Nice.
saying. You see, that's winning mentality right there. But also, that's some serious numbers. I mean, and you got to think that's skill-based
I might have been
matchmaking
killed.
lobbies.
I might have been. Oh, don't be like that now. Don't be like that.
Yeah, you gotta bring this man in. Austin, what's good?
Nothing much. Just hanging out, enjoying the off season still. But nothing's really changing much yet. So just waiting for the new game to be coming out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, come on, these teams have got a decent. I need a bit more. Actually, I can't really complain. There's been quite a bit of beef the last few days, so I can't really hate. Let's crack on, baby. Let's talk about the Doug stuff. I don't really want to go into too much depth on this, but we have to talk about it because it's just too insane how Doug managed to go through the full circle in the last few days. It started off pretty entertaining because Doug and this X guy. I mean, it wasn't obviously Doug that figured this out, but there was a way in one of the back end of the cheating sites, whatever it was called, to go through and find out whether certain people had downloaded and used the cheats on their account. And I was kind of wondering if he jumped the gun a bit here, just because people were mentioning, well, now that Doug's mentioned this loophole, they're going to shut it down. And he had probably a 24-hour window until it did get shut down. But actually, the fact that it got shut down sparked the whole next set of drama because obviously to clout chase, Doug was then going to bring up the whole Nadia thing. Nadia is an interesting character, really, because she obviously knows what she's doing. Whether she's cheating or not, she probably uses the VPNs. Whether she actually cheats, I don't know. I've seen some suspect clips for sure, but whether she cheats, I don't know. But she does a good job feeding into it because if she can maybe imply she cheats a bit, then she gets more viewers and clout. So it's kind of the way the game is played nowadays. And obviously Doug knew what he was doing, but it doesn't end too well for Doug, unfortunately. But the internet moves quick. People quickly forget that Doug proposed. It is what it is.
I don't think so, bro. That screenshot of him is going to last forever.
It actually is.
Stuck with him.
Yeah,
He
that
mentioned,
is.
Who did he propose to?
Nadia.
Nadia.
Oh, why? Wasn't he choosing her and cheating? If you can't tell, I have
Nah.
seriously not paid attention to any of this because
Yeah,
I
haven't
knew
you
it was
seen
Doug.
this?
No.
You missed out big time. I mean, so basically,
You missed out
okay,
on nothing, bro.
I thought, yeah, exactly. I think like the people watching probably know, but I'll just explain, I guess, here to Austin that he basically said he had a message for Nadia, and I saw a clip of him on stream the day before. He was kind of going to say something, and like, I don't know, he was basically implying that he had some information, but obviously he didn't because he was trying to look up Nadia's Activision IDs on this site, but before he could do it, the loophole got shut down into the cheating site, so we couldn't find out anymore. So obviously he didn't have any info on whether Nadia was cheating or not.
Yeah.
And then
Also, it's Vanguard. It was only Vanguard ranked that you could search up.
Yeah.
And so,
Well,
like,
Vanguard
in
hacking
general, I
on
think.
ranked, she's hacking on Warzone if she is.
yeah,
So you have
exactly. And it could have been a different cheating site anyway. Like even if someone like was cheating, but they hadn't downloaded the cheats from this particular site, which probably wasn't like the absolute main one, then you're still not going to get them, you know. So anyway, Doug thought, you know what, I've got to go out with a bang here. So he does all this hype. He's like, I'm rendering this video, like the truth about Nadia, all this. And then he's like, oh, I'm not sure about it anymore. It's a little bit, I don't know if this is going to work out for me. I don't know if it's a good idea. There's a 99% chance I take a W, but a 1% chance I take an L. What do I do? And then he releases this video, and I didn't even bother watching it because I just knew it'd be pointless. I mean, I skipped through to the end. And he like it's actually to be fair, it's kind of funny. Like he gets this guy to record him on the jet ski, and he's got the wire on, and he's doing all this. And then he talks about Nadia and like the reasons why he thinks she might be dodgy. And then he gets to the end of the video, and he comes in on his jet ski, and then gets off the jet ski, gets the ring out, and like gets down on his knee to propose to the cameras. Like he looks pretty good. He's got the suit on, he's got the glasses on. But then like as Lion knew that I didn't know, like she's either got a girlfriend or like what's going on there?
Well, she went out with Hermé, who was a Australian female Warzone streamer as well.
Oh,
And,
is that
I
who
think
she
they
went out
ended
with?
recently? Yeah.
I don't know that.
And like
I don't know
they
that.
like traveled around the US together and all this stuff. And so I knew beforehand. So I saw this and I was like, oh, it's another L. My God, man.
Another
Of
one.
course. I just feel like if he had conclusive evidence that she was cheating, it's not a bad idea for a video. But the way he presented it and like the jokes that he put in, it was just like it was meant to be an elaborate troll, I think. But then it just turned out to be a massive like L for him because in the end it also just wasn't funny. I don't know if that's mean from me, but it's just that's how it came across. And then Moist Critical. Do you know Moist Critical? Austin, he made a video that's got like 2.8 million views called Clown Behavior, where he just reacts to Doug's video and like talks shit the whole time. And it's just like, was Doug expecting to get a Moist Critical shout out, like a full on video about him? Does he want
I
that?
know.
Maybe.
Doug is a clown, bro. The whole thing was clownish. Like I didn't take no notice of it. Like if you followed the scene for long enough, you know that Doug does this type of shit like twice a year. Like I don't know, he's a clown, bro.
I didn't pay attention to any of it. I saw it and I was like, it's either bullshit or else it's real, and I'll read it on something else.
The thing I hate about it was when he was trying to expose cheaters. It's like he was exposing people like with like 100 followers on Twitter. Like no one gives a shit about these people. Like expose SnD people or maybe some amateur players, challenger players. Like he was exposing just random people that no one even knew.
He was exposing people in ranked who are like his competition because he's like the number one ranked
like, no
player
one
in Vanguard. That was his thing, and it's like
no one cares, man. Like,
what are they gonna do?
Expose someone that we know. Like, come on. You had that tool. You had that tool, and you didn't use it to your advantage.
Yeah,
oh, no.
He did.
So,
he did use it to his advantage because everyone's talking
I mean,
about
it. To his. Yeah. My bad. You know
that's what I'm saying, Carly. Like, I think he busted his nut too quick on this, to be honest. Like, like
he did.
If he just held off a little bit and didn't tell the whole world that he had this way to expose cheaters, he could have got everyone. Yeah. So, I mean, everyone on that site, like he could have got the full list and tested everyone before telling people, you know. But he blew his load too early. Unfortunate.
You know what that means, though? Is either there wasn't anyone big on there. Because he would have obviously gone through and seen, like, looked through before he, like, actually, like, did that. There's no way he wouldn't have thought about that. And he was like, well, I'm just going to make the most amount of content as I can because there's no one big on here. And then played it out like that.
And then made it a troll, tried to.
Yes.
And then just ran with it.
Yes.
Yep. Well, He moves, man.
He gets everybody
enough.
every time, man. I give it to him. He's a genius on that level with like the
He is,
content and like
he
getting
is.
everyone. He's a genius, but it's like every time everyone falls for it, and I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna wait. I'm not even gonna give it the attention. Like when Doug does cool stuff, I'll always watch it. But when it's like some stuff around that, like I saw the picture of him with a suit and a wire, I was like, come on, son, come on.
Yeah. He like
Oh,
put
man.
all the memes about him in one video. The wire, the jet ski, the gym,
picture in the
awkwardness at
background.
the gym, fucking pull-ups before the video started.
Yeah, he did. He even did that as well.
Oh,
Bro, the
it's
one where he was
so bad.
crying, he's like, I apologize to absolutely no one. He did like the Conor McGregor.
Yeah, he did that.
I watched that.
on
I was
Twitter.
like, how did people not see this coming?
I mean, I got
Oh,
like
well.
15,000 likes or something on Twitter. Like, he absolutely is farming. Like, he just
Oh, yeah.
knows. He just knows how to do it. I mean, I've seen like he doesn't upload on YouTube very often, but when he does, it generally is a banger. Like, he did some video like, what was it, reacting to my ex-girlfriend's OnlyFans or something. I was like, man, Doug is just built different. He knows what he's doing.
You know, 100% knows what he's doing. I just saw today that Nadia got shadow banned. I think Jake
Yeah,
Lucky
I
posted
don't
about it.
know like how that works exactly. Like,
Nah,
because
it's
I
I
know
wouldn't.
he was saying that you can get shadow banned if you move around, and I don't even exactly know what shadow ban even means in that context, to be honest with you. So like,
I
I
think it
don't
means you
really.
just can't. The only lobbies you can find are like 200 ping lobbies, I think. But the shittest people get shadow banned, bro. Like I don't know what their system is for shadow banning, but I've seen people with like 0.5 KDs get shadow banned. And that's
Nice.
definitely not cheating.
Can't lie, it's a bit of a bad look on
Nice.
like if she is for sure if she is for sure cheating, it's a bad look on Activision inviting her out to that COD next event. You know what I mean? Because like I
Yeah.
don't know,
Just the
I've
shadow
seen this a
banner
bit
like 2
suspect.
weeks later.
Well, exactly, yeah. Because it's like I don't know if they have some evidence that she's cheating, then they would have had that evidence before COD next. So I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Well, my honest opinion is that she probably isn't hacking. Like, I just think that she was doing the VPN hack, you know, where it's like you get low KD lobbies and all that shit. But
yeah, I
that's
don't know.
whatever.
I haven't
So
seen
many
many
Warzone
clips. I've
streamers do
seen a
that.
couple, but
Yeah, but those clips aren't even that sus. Like, it's not even
one of them's
crazy.
pretty sus, to be fair.
Which one? The one with the EMP?
No, I saw one where like she's shooting at this person and then her aim flicks up to the left and then flicks immediately back
Yeah,
to the
that was
person
the
that she's
EMP
shooting
thing.
at. Was that the EMP one? What's the
Yeah.
explanation for that one?
So it's like when an EMP flashes near your location, it's like your gun will switch to like someone else or where the EMP came from. It will like switch to it. And like, someone did an example of that where it's like every time an EMP
that's
goes
gay.
close, you like.
My
Well,
thing
it's
with
got the
that though
defense.
is
I don't play enough to know.
if you watch every single player's clips, like if you went through every single one of like who plays a lot of Warzone, like Priesta, you're always gonna find some sketchy clip. Just because like most of the time those players are just like freaks, like just have freak talent, and like they just do something that like just looks robotic, and everyone and their mothers and be like, oh my god, cheating, fuck 'em.
Yeah.
So like that's why like
especially when it's a girl. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like there's gonna be more criticism.
that's why
naturally.
like just
Yeah,
having
people
like
do
the
go
eye
hard.
test is just way too like not conclusive. I don't know.
Yeah. Nothing's conclusive at all.
That's just my 2
At all,
cents.
at all.
And if everyone's already has their own opinion formed, they're only going to be looking at those clips just to find something sketchy. They're not going to be looking into to be like, okay, is she innocent or not? Okay, no, she's sketchy. So I always think it's just a waste of time. Like everyone just wants to be on the bandwagon.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Or she
confirmation
could be
bias
one of
for
those
sure.
people that, you know how like when actual good players hack, it's like a lot more difficult to find the hacking because it's like it kind of just mixes in with the actual gameplay. There's potential that there's something going on there, but who knows? Who knows? Well, I guess we'll find out in time if she gets actually banned or if there's an anti-cheat, but we'll see.
I think we did quite
Yeah.
well there with the whole Doug stuff. We've done like a good 15 minutes on Doug. That's not bad. I didn't think we were going to be able to achieve that. I think we can safely move on. Doug watches TacRab vids. Yeah. Someone did say that actually. Doug's like always on the TacRab vid grind. So hopefully he's hopefully he's smashing the like button. That's all I'm saying. Smash a like on this if you guys are watching the podcast as well. Let's talk about the the TST Tourney, baby. This is like the big off-season event. I'm actually really looking forward to this. I don't know if you can bring this up on screen, Omar, but if not, I can just read out the teams. So we've got 4 teams for the Black Ops 2 Invitational in Texas. Like, I don't exactly know what the format's going to be. I don't know how they're going to do it precisely, but yeah, it's happening here we go. On stream right now, happening in a couple of weeks' time in Texas, and these are the teams. I mean, I don't know if you guys have the tweet in the chat so you can follow the teams. I mean, what's the team you're most excited for here? Because all of these teams are going to be comedy, to be honest. Like the Bows and Killer one always has a special place in my heart.
Yeah,
Regardless of the situation.
that team's gonna be hilarious, bro. all 4 of those dudes are gonna be funny. I'm probably more excited for that team just because of the content. Imbos, I love Imbos. Killer obviously speaks for itself. Clayster methods. I think that's it. I hope they have a lot of listeners for that team. It's gonna be hilarious. I already know it is.
Are they going to be doing listen-ins?
I don't know. I hope so though. I don't know.
I'm sure. Surely they. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I imagine they will.
I actually think Envoy is defending champ because he won the one before Vanguard. I don't know if it's the TST one though, but he won 10k with Arcides, Pristini, Gunless, and Envoy.
Oh, yeah, I remember what he's saying actually.
That's probably why he got he's a team captain. He won.
I kind of forget the what
close with Hitch
happened
too.
last time, but
yeah, true.
And I'm kind of sad that there's no like complexity, like full squad. Like Teep's the only one that's not there. And
yeah, that's a good point. To be fair, like it would have been nice to see Teep go and have that cold team play, or like another, or like have the old OpTic reform. Like have. I mean, Cap is there, and like Merc and Big T and Rambo and Scump. Like they could have formed the old OpTic squad, maybe.
Farico, you could have done old school Farico.
Yeah, it could have got pretty close. I mean, I don't really mind it, but I do know what you're saying. It would have been cool to actually try and fully reform some of the. Because I was also thinking like Team Unite, right? With because you could have got.
Even
I mean, what was that like? Yeah, but I'm saying it was like Killer, Bows. Well, whoever was there, like Parasite, Ricky,
or Clay. It was Clay.
Maybe Clay was there. They had a lot of different iterations, but they could have reformed one of those old Unite teams, maybe.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Clay was only there at the start, got rid of the ponytail, and then he went straight on to Cole, and they won every tournament but one.
Clay looked so different, man. Within about a 2-month period, remember the ponytail to cutting the ponytail off and actually looking handsome as hell.
And shaving.
I don't. Yeah, and shaving. I didn't really Man, ponytail Clay is someone else. But yeah, Bo's got dropped to Killer. Yeah. Okay, Killer, Nameless. Yeah, I was Nameless is the other name I was meaning to say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's I don't know. It's just cool that this can happen because I appreciate how difficult it must be to actually lock these players down, especially to do an in-person event. Like even to do this online must be challenging enough to make sure the players are committed, and getting them to actually get out there in person. It just goes. I'm sure a lot of them are local enough. But...
When's the Black Ops 3 throwback?
That's what I'm saying.
It's always Black Ops 2.
It is.
They're all Modern Warfare 2, and it's I appreciate those games.
I've had enough of Modern Warfare 2, to be honest.
I think it's the PC capabilities. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I think it has something to do.
They just released Black Ops 3 earlier this year with aim assist on PC. You can play it now.
Oh, did they?
I think they did a Black Ops 3 one last year.
Yeah, they did do one.
Was it LAN?
No, because they couldn't do any LAN. But
yeah, so where's the LAN Black Ops 3 tournament?
Well, it's because all these players.
Let's go.
All these players love Black Ops 2. That's why. So it's easier to get them to do this.
We will eventually get there, though. We will. It won't be that long until we start having to not move on from Black Ops 2, but
10 years old now.
Spectre's right in the chat, I think, right here.
Yeah.
TK
Black Ops 3 is 7 years old now. Crazy.
Jesus.
That is actually tragic.
You know what they should be doing is do Black Ops 4 4v4 with no specialists.
And still,
that'd be good.
Yeah.
I'm down for Black Ops 4. I wasn't my right top of the list, but I will say, man, Hacienda, oof. I really like
no stim. Do no stim shot Black Ops 4.
Yeah, no
They
stem.
had a good map set, bro. Like all those maps were good. I don't even know if there's a shit map in their rotation.
I don't think there was. I mean, Arsenal frequency, gridlock.
Probably the worst was Payload SND.
Yeah, Pele.
Yeah, Palo was kind of asked, to be fair.
What was that one, the Japanese one that had the sushi bit and that 18-wheeler and
Gridlock?
telling
I
you
think
to
it's
sneak it?
gridlock, yeah.
Yeah, gridlock.
Gridlock. Yeah, that wasn't the best,
Yeah.
but it was still decent.
It was good for hardpoint.
It was
It's a
good.
bit messy
I
in
liked it for
control because the
I
attack
liked
got
it
to
for
A
control.
first. But it was quite well. Oh, yeah. Actually, Seaside, yeah, fuck Seaside. I actually hated that map.
These are hardpoint.
No, I like the map.
Nah, Seaside
that map.
awful. I'm a firm believer Seaside terrible map. All right, let's move on, baby.
Yeah, so that's a week and a half away.
Yeah, that's
Looks
actually
like
kind of
a-
close though, yeah? Like,
Yeah.
that's exciting stuff. At least we got something to watch. Now, next season, we've got some other teams arriving. Let's do New York first because we just saw the announcement that Kismet will be coming back. We saw yesterday that HyDra will be coming back. We think that Skies and Priest are going to round out the rest of the team. We've talked about the roster before to some degree, but I wanted to mention like HyDra in a bit more detail because like HyDra we believe was getting offered this like crazy salary crone when you were still doing the reporting. I know that Ben was saying it was like in the 400-500K region. I don't reckon he's getting paid that now. Probably, well, maybe he is, but I don't know. Like, I imagine New York, after the fact that they then had no competition for him, drop that down a bit because I guess they wanted to give him like the absolute bag to make him stay, but then obviously if he had the OpTic offer he was probably going to try and go there anyway. That falls through because OpTic stick, the FaZe thing never comes to fruition anyway, and then New York's his only situation, so he probably has a decent salary but not crazy. But like I don't know, I'm just really interested to see what happens here for New York because we don't know what the details of this contract are, whether it is the 3-year deal that was initially discussed, but if it is, like, is it a good idea to build around HyDra for the long term? I kind of understand it, but at the same time, I think that there's a fair bit of risk involved because you run the risk of HyDra being entirely undroppable, regardless of what happens, which might not be the best given the questions about his work ethic and stuff. And you add in the fact that, well, if the team doesn't work and doesn't win, if you're paying big money, then it's like, well, the only people that can change are the other guys on the team. So I have a really hard time believing this team of 4 can stick together till the end of the year, to be honest. But yeah, what do you think, Crone? Am I talking bollocks?
His contract, I wouldn't have a clue. I would assume it's the same, bro. To be honest, I feel like it would be a little bit weird to offer someone this much and then say, "Oh no, well,
Yeah,
when you move,
I know what you
we'll
mean,
take
but-
off 100K per year." But I don't really have faith in this team that much. If they do great, then good on them. One thing I was gonna say though is the announcement yesterday. How sad is it, and funny as well, both, that there was a Valorant reference in the announcement in a Call of Duty. Like that's I don't know. I don't know if that's more sad or funny. I don't know which one. The fact that we have a Valorant reference in one of our announcements. Like Valorant would never reference Call of Duty in one of their announcements. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm tripping out. But yeah, I don't have faith in this team at all. I feel like HyDra's stock is like plummeted a little bit. Not plummeted, but it's gone down a little bit since
The drama didn't
off-season,
help
man.
for sure.
Yeah, and the drama. Like I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
I think it was just
artificial.
I think it was just artificially high based off like fan reactions. Because fans are always
Yeah.
going to hype up players. Like it happens
that's probably it.
with so many players. I'm not just saying him. It happens with a lot of players, where you get hyped up a lot by the fans who have like a strong fan base. Because New York actually, I think, had a really big fan base for Crim and Clay, but also like the subliners as a whole because their branding is actually really good and like what they do as a brand. So like we're at that point now. Where it happens in sports too, where like certain fan bases, players are always going to be hyped up a little bit more, just because their fan bases are a little bit bigger. I don't think it's that he's that more overvalued than what people think, but this team it'll be interesting to see how they develop throughout the course of the season. Like if they'll start off better and like cool down or like get better at the end of the year, it's kind of hard to read. It like really hinges on, I think, like Priest having a bounce back year and if Priest is on this roster and how like Kismet plays, because Kismet played really good last year, and if he can like duplicate that again, then they would obviously be at a pretty high level.
Yeah, I think last year they proved that sub duo is really strong. Obviously, it's on Vanguard, a different game, low time to kill. The time to kill in this game is just as bad, no, if not worse.
They say it's supposed to be lower. It was just the bullet reg in the beta was just not good. So it seemed like it was higher than what it was.
I feel like it's pretty much like close to Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna
What do you
be some
think about
bullshit
that?
kills where it's like I don't. I like BO4 time to kill. That was my favorite
Me
I've
too.
ever played.
Same.
Higher time, or like the lower the time to kill is, the higher the skill gap is.
Or
Yeah,
lower
I think
skill
that's what I like about Halo. You know, Halo. You have to
No,
shoot
no,
someone, like-
higher the skill gap. The
yeah,
the
yeah.
longer it takes for you to kill somebody, the higher the skill gap is.
Yeah,
Yeah, which
100%.
means
I
Brack
agree.
is one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah, true.
Coming back, he's going to be
Now
a
we're
king.
getting somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think, yeah, you mentioned his contract. I agree with Crone. I feel like it would have been strange to offer him one thing and then change it halfway through because of drama and all that stuff. I think that would probably put him on a weird like path with New York. He probably wouldn't enjoy staying there if they halved his salary out of nowhere. But do you guys think that contracts should be public? Just
No.
like the NBA, like Formula One. Why every other sport
Yes,
it's
but
public?
because I say yes, but only because I like content and posting things on Twitter.
Facts.
But I do. I'm
I'm not
interested as
commenting.
fuck to know. But on the other hand, I think it would bring a lot of negativity. You know, like if players getting paid this much and they don't play as good, then you know the community's gonna be like, "Yo, you're getting paid, you know, 500K, you ain't doing shit."
Just like the
stuff
NBA,
people would
James
say.
Harden on the max
Yeah.
contract.
But it's different in the Call of Duty because Call of Duty players are on Twitter 24/7. You know, they read everything. James Harden is not reading everything on Twitter. He's probably not even checking his mentions. You know what I
Because he
mean?
decides not to. They can decide not to as well. They can close their eyes. That's social media.
Yeah, you're right. But it's
Cyberbullying
eyes,
isn't
bro.
real.
they just love social
How to
media.
avoid social media bullying is go like that.
Oh my god.
Sell out television.
What's the tweet, Austin?
As I used to say.
I just think it's gonna bring so much more negativity than than positives. Like you gotta remember too, a lot of like the average age for esports is gonna be much lower than in traditional sports. And traditional sports, it's been around, like that has always been around since the beginning. If that just randomly started appearing now, like fans would be just at people's throat. And a big thing too about like let's say like the NBA or NFL for example, you do like media training for 3 seasons in college. Like you get that training with how to deal with media, how to deal with everything. And then you go to then you, even when you get drafted, during the summer before the league starts, you are going through media training, money. They even do like classes for money. They do it with all the rookies. So they get like really intensive training in how to deal with the pressures of the media, how to like not blow all your money within like 2 months. They get like a lot of that, and that doesn't happen for the CDL. So I can just imagine the chaos that would ensue. A lot of players would retire because of the pressure that would come with that. They would just instantly say that nope, this isn't worth it. We'll just go play Warzone and shit on everybody over there. So I just I just think that's the esport isn't ready for that. What I would love it to happen, because I love looking at like sport track and like seeing like my favorite hockey teams, the Rangers. I love like seeing like the cap situation. You know, is there free agents we can look at this year, next year, 3 years, who's locked down. I love that. That's why I think like the league creating a database where you can see how long players are locked in for it should be perfect. I feel like that's a good like 50-50 like give and take. Because you should be able to see how long certain players are signed to the organization, what options are in that contract, and everything like that. I don't want any of the numbers getting out, because I just feel like that would only bring negativity. Like only. There's no positives for that.
Are contract lengths public and all that?
So if you go to the
Only
CDL
if the
site,
team declares it, I think.
if you go to the CDL site, you can see who's been re-signed and not, and you can kind of infer. Well, in the past, you just knew it was a 1+1, so that was easy. But now, since it's a little bit different, because now there's 3-year deals, they don't do that. So I hope they do in the future.
Yeah, and even like
I
Zero
think
said that like last year he didn't sign a 1+1, he signed like a 1+0 basically, so he was going to be free at the end of the season.
Zero signed a 1+0.
He did, yeah. It's kind of smart business from him because the 1+1 gives all the power to the org, really. So anyway, I mean, Odie is in the chat saying that he definitely doesn't want them to be public, so that's understandable. But cool to see you're giving the boys training your money. I think that honestly, like that financial training for some of the pros is still needed, but it was certainly needed a few years ago because I'm sure a lot of those guys, like who were doing really well, and I'm sure they thought they were going to be on the bag for the next several years in COD and were good to spend a lot of money. Probably the bank accounts dried up a bit. Speaking of that, let's talk about Skrapz to London because this is a possibility. There's some rumors about this that obviously with Odie in the chat here, that London sub might be Skrapz for the upcoming season, which to me is interesting because of course he took a year out of competing last season, didn't play challenges or anything. He was on Paris, unfortunately, during Cold War, and then the previous season he had a decent year on London, to be fair. Fought to the World Championship, all that type of stuff. Interesting, because I really like Skrapz. I think he's a great player, top player potential when he was in the league, and it kind of makes this London team a weird, Black Ops 4 phase vibes, right? Austin with Skrapz and Zero and Asim and all this going on. So it's kind of nice. I just need to bring you in now, and RJ and complete the set. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about Skrapz if he does get the sub spot, like walking right back into an opportunity? I know some would say they're like, well, Skrapz didn't exactly earn it last season. There's other challenger players that they could have got. We don't really know the whole Wardy Beans situation. Some say they declined the opportunity, whatever. And I think Skrapz is a good guy to have as the sub, but I just think there's some questions about whether he should have had to kind of earn the opportunity if he gets it, rather than kind of just being gifted it because of the Friendship League or whatever. Or maybe it doesn't matter.
I think it's a really smart play for London, just because if you sign him to a substitute / contract or like content deal, you can try him out as a challengers player, which I think he should have to do to be able to get back into the league. I feel like Paris fucked up by letting him go or like not re-signing him after Cold War, because I feel like he was really, really good in Cold War. But I feel like after a year off, if he proves himself and he does a really, really good job in challengers, I do not see why not he cannot make the London starting roster. Personally, I think if it doesn't work out even then, he's such a big personality with giving the right resources. He could be like a streaming star, especially for like in the Call of Duty scene. So I think it would be a smart play for London because at worst you get a good content creator, and at best you get a really strong player. So either way, it kind of works out for them. I know like last year they had some younger players. It didn't work out 100% how they would have liked it to, but I feel like if you get Skrapz, it's a good veteran presence. He's been on a team with Zero. He's been on a team with Asim. He's been, I think he's even played with Nasty before. So he's been around the block, and he can be a really good slayer in the right environment.
100%. I don't have much to add on that. I agree. I think it's a good pickup.
Austin actually just did it all right there. That was pretty impressive.
I agree. It's funny because we actually spoke about Skrapz to London last week before we even knew about it. I hadn't heard about it, and I saw Ben talk about it, so I checked it on Twitter. But I like it too. I think it's good, but I could see why some people would feel a little bit offended by it because he didn't compete last year. I was also surprised about it because I had heard that they Skrapz in London had like beef of some sort. I'm not sure if it was beef, but I think they had to go to court or something like that about something about money. This was back in Modern Warfare, like when that finished or whenever he left London back then.
Sure,
but no, I was surprised about that, to be honest. But I like it. Who would he replace? He would probably replace. What is he?
I mean,
Flex,
Paul, I guess.
SMG?
Yeah, Paul.
I would probably put him in the flex role.
And I think I think he would be good competition to Paul, because I always think like when you're not a lower tier team, but if you're in the middle of the pack, if you're fighting to like go up, competition would probably breed more success out of your players too. So I think Maddie is a good measuring stick for Paul for his growth as a player. And I also think like Maddie is very good competition for him because he would push him to be a better player and like hit a higher level. So I'm all for it, and I really do hope it works out for all the parties involved. Whether it's Maddie like proving himself and getting a spot on another team if Paul's playing really well, or London getting a really good content creator who's also like Tarek, for instance. Like Tarek plays like ranked and competitive all day, and he's under Sentinels now, and he's a terrific content creator. If like that's the route Maddie wants to go down, if competing isn't fun for him anymore, that would be really, really great under the London brand. So I hope it just works out for all of them.
Good.
Agreed. Let's talk Florida quickly, just because there was like the Phiz Memorial the last few days, or like the kind of tribunal tournament thing they do every year, which is awesome. And I'm guessing it was probably search and destroy only, because I can't imagine a Phiz Tourney not being SnD only. And the team that won was Major Maniac, Brack, Vickle, and Real, who's going to be on the Minnesota Rocker Academy this season. They are hoarding a lot of good SMG talent over there. But I thought it was interesting, of course, kind of like a pickup tourney, but the first SnD tourney we've kind of seen. And yes, it was Vanguard in fairness, but immediately it's the Florida core that win it. The core that we expect to be a very solid search and destroy team. So I don't know if you guys think like there's anything to read into this, but I just think that a lot of people have Mutineers like rock bottom of their power rankings, which is maybe understandable. But I think like in terms of actual results, like I actually have faith this team can deliver a lot of 2-3-5s, again, and get some upset wins, which I think is the way to do it if you're a team that's in that kind of conversation of being on the fringes of not making the world championship. Like trying to build an absolute SnD powerhouse, I think is probably a smart move. And I'm not going to say it's already paying dividends, but they won like 7K in this Phiz Memorial tournament. So,
More than
I just
some
feel
CDL
like-
teams last year.
Yeah. They're just like an unknown quantity. And so naturally, no one's going to give them like a great chance of being a top team. But who knows? They could come out and be solid as fuck. And it could depend on the game. I always say this, but it's like the game plays such a big part in like some of these teams like quality. And some players are incredible at one game and terrible at the next. And it's just like that's the way it goes in Call of Duty. And so I mean, I was thinking about putting like $100 on them to win champs. Like, did you see the odds? It was like 1 in 100.
Well, we'll see that in a second.
It's disrespectful as fuck, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit low. I think it was a little bit low. Especially under Paris.
It was under Las Vegas, who doesn't have a roster right now.
Yeah. And even the roster that we have, it's not incredible. I don't think it's better than. I think it's about the same as Florida, to be honest. Like it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say so. It's fun. I mean, we'll look at that in a second because I did want to talk about some power rankings in a few minutes and kind of base it around what you tweeted the other day, Cohen. But yeah, it is funny that like Mutineers are behind Vegas and Vegas don't have a team, and the SMGs leave something to be desired. Let's say.
Good way to put it.
The other rostermania thing is the OpTic. Well, there's two things actually with regard to OpTic, really. So their coaching situation and their substitute situation. So I'll talk Sender first. So this week, Sender was released by OpTic. There was a lot of back and forth on whether he was going to go, then he was going to stay again, and Scump thought he was going to stay, and then Shotzi was indicating he was going to stay, and then he's gone. So it was interesting. Of course, we think he's going to go to New York, probably. I don't know if there's any updates on this chrono or anything, but we thought he was going to go to New York.
Yeah. I think he was always going to go there. I don't think there was ever. I think the Scump and them were just baiting or playing dumb.
Okay, fair enough. That's not a massive surprise. And Senna did an interesting video where he effectively said it was like his decision to leave. And he had a really difficult time making the decision because he really loves OpTic and it was the best org he's ever been on. He was there the last 3 years. And I was getting like really roasted hard in the comment section when I talked about the fact that he wanted to be effectively valued better elsewhere. And people were like, that's not what he said. But I've watched the video a couple of times and maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just completely faded. But like my perspective on listening to it was effectively he said that, he he said that the value that's placed on his position in his next role is very important to him. And then the very next sentence he said, there's a big disconnect in a lot of people's minds where the coaches are like, one's at this level, one's at this level, whereas the reality is they put in the same amount of work and should get the same credit. That's eventually what he said. And I'm like, there's no way he says this unless he thinks that OpTic weren't quite giving him the value that he deserved, right? I mean, the way I read it was that he was kind of frustrated being Rambo's basically right-hand man and either not getting the salary that commanded or whatever. But, you know, he wants to go somewhere where he's going to be valued, treated as like effectively an equal coach is what he was implying. And implying, therefore, that he didn't feel like that at OpTic. So, you know, maybe, yeah, see, still wasn't what he said. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm just completely faded here, and that's not what he said at all.
No, from the outside, if they're meant to be equals, they didn't look like equals at all. Like, Rambo was the face of this team. He was the one always behind them, hyping them up, whereas it seemed like SnD was behind the scenes, more of an analytical type of coach who wasn't getting any credit, maybe from OpTic, but definitely from the fans. He wasn't getting that same level of appreciation. And like all the success that OpTic had, at the start of the year, it was, oh, Rambo's the difference. Rambo. And then last year, OpTic had a tough time in 21 with Chicago. He was the head coach. He got shit on a little bit. Then he gets put into like a secondary role on paper, apparently, and then doesn't get any credit. So I would assume there's like elements of both appreciation and then within the org itself. Maybe salary. I don't know if salary even comes into it.
Business perspective. Like at the start of the video, he said
business.
He said business, which sounds to me like money. So I don't know.
But
I was
it could
getting
also be
roasted
job
for that,
security. It could be the fact that he isn't appreciated in the team, and so he feels like he might lose his job at some point, and so maybe he needs to go somewhere where he has like a longer contract, and within that team, they actually value him more.
It's going to sound weird, but I think he's probably getting a substantial pay raise wherever he does go. It's just in his current role, he was always thought of by the fans and everything as the number 2, not like the assistant, not as like the co-head coach. He was always just thought of just as a coach that's there, and whatever position he finds himself in, he's going to be the guy, and like he's going to be, you know, just, people are going to respect him a little bit more. He's probably going to get a pretty big pay raise. I personally think Troy's a really good coach. I think he does a terrific job in what he does. I think Ray is a terrific coach. I thought both of them together were a really strong coaching duo. So I'm just really excited to see where he goes next and to see him like try to like prove his worth. It was kind of interesting to see the actual coaching like switches that was happening this year. I really didn't expect this much of what we've gotten. So I'm interested to see like how the rest of it goes, because just because a lot of the head coaching positions are filled doesn't mean there won't be more like coaching carousel kind of action going on, because there's just so many assistant coaching roles and analyst roles that need to be filled. This is only just the tip of it. This is just like the first moves that are happening, and now we're going to start getting to the point where just a lot of changes are going to start becoming public and start being like happening behind the scenes, because I think there's like 6 or 7 assistant coaching jobs around the league that are open, and then there's like a handful of analysts, and SnD analysts is obviously that's not a huge thing right now, but even then there's rumor that there's only one right now that's like locked in. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of it like kind of like works its way out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see like what his role is. Like if D-Real, I still don't know what D-Real is going to be doing. I don't know if he's going to be head coach or, because I don't think Subliners have a GM. I don't know if he would want to be a GM or what, but I'm interested to see what if SnD's going to be a head coach or he's going to be a joint head coach or assistant coach to D-Real. So I don't know. I guess we have to wait and see, because that is something I actually don't know.
Yeah, because that was my question about it as well. Is like, because I was initially thinking in my head when Sender did the tweet he was going to leave, I was like, well, has he decided to leave or is he getting kicked? And I kind of went towards the latter just because it seemed like he was going to join New York as the assistant coach. And I was like, why would you go from assistant coach at OpTic to assistant coach in New York unless they're getting rid of you? But, money could be a factor. But also maybe they've got other ideas where D-Real's going to kind of also be in that GM role. Who knows? The other OpTic thing is their substitute, because I think if there's any team that needs to lock down a good sub, I think that OpTic are probably right up there this season, because there is obviously the concern about Illy, and the substitute market doesn't move particularly quickly. They don't necessarily have to hurry, but I would say they probably should hurry, because in terms of a player that could actually replace Illy if something goes badly wrong, and that the team can actually have confidence in, because like if the Illy thing happens again, they've got to be prepared for it, right? Like to some degree or another, unless they're just going to hope that it doesn't happen again, which it might not, and they might be good, but surely they want to have someone there that if the worst comes to the worst, they can at least feel confident bringing in, even as a short-term replacement. Who knows? So anyway, Gunless is on the market. He's been looking for a spot. He's been struggling to get one. He's said that if he doesn't get a spot within 10 days, and that was like, 15 days ago now, he's going to have to go back to Canada and won't be able to compete in challenges the way he wants to, being able to come to the events and stuff like that. But then he tweeted last night that he was like, good news, everything's coming together or something. So maybe he implies that someone's reached out and said, hey, yeah, let's make something happen. Because, I mean, you can very much argue that Gunless should be on a starting team, and failing that, like, he should for sure be a sub somewhere in the league. So, should opt to get Gunless because he's a player that can fit that role. He has experience with some of those players. He has leadership, voice, capabilities. He can run a flex, competent with both weapons. I think it makes sense. But maybe, I don't know, maybe a team like LAG reached out because of the Arcesies connection and said, hey, come back. I don't know. Maybe they didn't. Maybe he's not going anywhere yet. But yeah, what do you think about that, Austin? Like, if you were there, if you were OpTic's decision maker, like, would you try and lock down a sub quickly, or would you take your time? I don't know. It's an interesting one.
So I'm always pretty high on like identifying your weaknesses pretty early and trying to fix that as soon as you can, because we saw in Cold War that a lot of teams assess their weaknesses during the season, and by the time they assessed and figured out who they wanted and what they needed to do, that person was already long gone. So I'm a big fan of like figuring that out now. And you can either do one of two routes. You can either take a veteran that is reliable, that can be that fix if there's a certain issue you think that's going to prop up, or you can take a risk on a rookie that hasn't like proven themselves yet, that you think will be like a star, and like try to sell them in the next year. Think of like Scrappy, Minnesota doing it with Real. So there's a bunch of different routes you can go down. I mean, personally, optically, if you look at it, they have a really strong SMG core. They obviously have a really strong AR, but they're one potential issue that could arise this season is Illy's thumb. So like I would definitely be in the market looking for a flex player. I personally think Gunless is a terrific flex. I think he would be a terrific player to be looked at in this position. If OpTic isn't going to go with like a younger player that they can like kind of like mold and try to like sell after the season, then I think for veteran players, I don't think you can do much better than Gunless. So that would just be something I would be looking at if I was them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you mean you go.
Do you want me to go or you? Okay.
You.
Well, last year both Illy and Gunless had health issues, so it's like, is that going to prop up? I mean, obviously it probably won't prop up again, but it's like that is something to consider. He's obviously been on this team, this organization somewhat when he was on Huntsman. It didn't work out. They had moments of brilliance, but in the end, it kind of just went sour. So if they do get him, would he come in for a short period of time if Illy can't play, or will they, keep that ongoing, or maybe look for someone else? Like, who knows? Like, what's his chemistry like with Scump? And like, I really don't know. So I feel like
they were really close
on paper. They were.
Yeah, they were really close. Like before the Huntsman thing, like real close. I remember
that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like real good friends, so they were going to concerts together and all that type of stuff. And then I guess the Huntsman thing happened. They dropped them, and they kind of they're probably still on good terms, but they're just not as close as they. Yeah. But they're just not as close as they used to. But I'm sorry to butt in, bro. But what I was gonna say was the Gorillas. Gorillas won an academy team, and I think he could join that. There could be the academy team. It would be Ghosty, Pristini, who was obviously Arcedy's brother, Pentagram, and Gunless. I think the only other team I could see the academy team being is like, I think it's Assault, Exceed, Joey Deceives, who's like just turned 18. He's probably like the next up and coming 18 player at the moment. He's really good too. So I don't know. Maybe Gorillas could pick him up on a I don't know if it would count if they get him as a academy player. Can you get a visa from that? Or does it have to be a substitute player?
It depends on if they're considered an employee. And if they
Yeah.
are, it would have to be a minimum 50K anyways for the salary per CDL rules. So you'd just be better off just signing him as a substitute anyways.
Because I think Real and Rockers, I asked them because I tweeted out the players coming in, players coming out, and I wanted to know if he was a substitute or academy, and they said no, he's an academy player. But he said that his team wouldn't be the
They got
Rocker
his
Academy.
visa, right? Like, didn't I
Yeah,
swear he
so
treated
maybe-
visa with a tick?
Yeah, so maybe you can be an academy player and get a visa. I don't know. I guess it depends. It depends because he's had a visa for so long. So I don't know. But I could see him going back to Gorillas because I know they're looking for an academy team. I know there's I think there's 4 or 5 teams this year looking for academy teams. I think New York might be looking for one. I'm not sure. They don't quote me on that. I would love to see London do one too with Skrapz. I don't know who would play with. But yeah, anyway, back to Gunless. I would like him in OpTic. I think it would be good. I think he's a perfect fit for a flex player. But I would also like them to wait until the Pro-Am and see if there's any, because there's a lot of talent still out there, like a huge amount of talent, huge. So I don't know. If I was the GM, I would wait for the Pro-Am and see who goes off, see who looks good on the game, and then that's where I would sign my substitute player. That's just me though.
Good logic from you, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because some teams, they're going to go down the double substitute route. Like, some are going to go for one, some are going to get their coach. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anyone's going to still get their coach. Looking at you, Vegas. We'll see what they decide to do this season. All right, cool. Before we do a round of Guess That Map, which I believe we have coming soon, we just wanted to talk through some power rankings. If you can bring this up on screen, Omar. This is the effectively a certain website that does odds that will not be named until a contract may potentially be signed. Did put out the odds for potentially winning the World Championship in the upcoming season. So it's kind of a look at the power rankings to some degree. I'll just send this. Or maybe it's already come up on stream. But something like this, Omar, would be interesting. So effectively, it's a look at what the possibilities are. And this is interesting just because there's the battle between, are they going to be good at the start or are they going to be good at the ends? Like something like the Seattle Surge, I reckon they'll be pretty damn good at the start of this game. They've got the chemistry, they've got the experience. Accuracy generally is pretty good at the start. So I'd say that in terms of my early game power rankings, Seattle would be quite high. But in terms of by the time they get to champs, are they going to be higher than Phiz, OpTic, Thieves, Ultra, Rocker? I don't know. So that's a question that is out there. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Because this effectively is a list of expected power rankings for the season. I think Ultra are maybe surprisingly high. But the bottom 4, I think, is kind of about right, but then obviously the Mutineers thing, them being last to Vegas, and Vegas don't have a team. Tough scenes.
I'm surprised that Seattle are below Toronto and Rocker.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Toronto's a little bit high. I feel like whoever made these has a lot of faith in Scrappy because they did an MVP one too, and I think Scrappy was like 7th in MVP vote in the MVP rankings on here, and Pred was like 12th or 13th. So I feel like whoever made these has a lot of faith in Scrappy being incredible. And I'm thinking maybe they looked at our stats on breakingpoint.com or breakingpoint.gg, sorry. Because Scrappy's KD is like crazy because he only played one match.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
He had like the 1.26. He played one series.
So maybe they based off that and said, okay, well, he averages a 1.6, so that's pretty high. So, maybe he's
Scrappy's the GOAT, therefore.
So I don't know. Maybe that's what they did. I have no idea. I really don't know. I'm just
They are
guessing.
counting on Scrappy going God mode, though. Because, this is, that's pretty high for Ultra to be 4th in the list, I think. I would put Surge there at the start of the year.
I feel like Gorillas is a little bit too high. I don't know if I'm hating or not, but I feel like Gorillas is a little bit too high.
Yeah, I mean they've got
I'd
New
put them
York
lower.
like in the top 8, right? Which is like, I mean, what do you think about in terms of team? Because obviously this is done in terms of which teams will make champs. Like, I feel like the top 6 is kind of a no-brainer, but then you've got the battle between London, Vegas, Florida, Boston, New York, and what other teams? I just completely forget. The 7th team that you just mentioned, LA Gorillas. And that's the battle for World Championship qualification. I feel like they've kind of got it right. Like LAG, the thing is, LAG are not going to be afraid to try and improve their team if they're bad. Like they've spent money, they're going to try and make it work. So like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of clear cut who should make champs, apart from maybe the final spot, which I think could go to any of like New York, Boston, London, Florida, even Vegas. Who knows?
I mean, I
Yeah, I
don't really take much about this. Like, it's really means nothing. Like, it's
Yeah, it
people who
does.
don't really understand COD that much giving preseason before the game even comes out odds. Florida
Before the
101
rosters even
to
announced.
1 chance is so funny. Bro, chuck $20 on them. I swear you'll get $2,000 if they win champs. Like, why not?
You'll lose
Wow.
$100.
No, it's when you lose 20. Come
I
on.
know you do. You lose 20. My bad. My bad. Yeah, only lose 20. Okay, that's fair. I mean, what do we think about like the top of the list, right? So you got Phiz, OpTic, Thieves. Like Thieves quite a way behind the other two in the rank.
I like it.
I think this is probably fair. Like Phiz are always going to be favorites, and OpTic are always kind of like somewhat overrated in these lists just because they're the most fans. Is how it is.
Yeah, I like the top 3.
moving
I
on
agree
to
with it
others.
because Thieves were terrible at the start. I feel like are they terrible at the start of every game? I know their roster's different every game.
They were good at the
Every
start of Cold War. They were decent. They went 4-1 in qualifiers for stage 1, and
Yeah, then they lost to
Cold War.
LAG at the major, and then they got like 3-0'd by LAG, and that was the beginning of the end, something like that.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
they
I mean,
lost
if you're just looking at the rosters, I feel like this is pretty on point. If you're just looking at rosters and not thinking about our shit, I feel like that's pretty on point.
It's that midfield which is really tough to say, and like
Yeah.
New York could be significantly better than we are giving them credit for. I think there's a world where New York are actually really good. I think.
100%.
So that's kind of, I think, the most wildcard team where I don't actually know where to put them, is because they could easily be pretty awful, but like they actually have a lot of ceiling in their roster if it gets confirmed as we expect. So
Who
We'll
do you
see
guys
how it
have
goes.
as the lowest? Because I personally, it's a little bit weird for me to see Florida at double the odds as London.
It's,
because, like,
it's stupid. I don't
not
agree
that
with it.
London should be lower. I just think like Florida and London. I mean, London hasn't even announced their roster yet. Las Vegas hasn't announced their roster yet, and Florida is 2-1 odds compared to them. Like,
I would have
I-
Florida above both of them if I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't know if that's just me. I know a lot of people don't like
I
the
think
Florida
in terms
team,
of
but
where
I like it.
in terms of like what the table will look like at the end of the season, I actually think Florida will be high because they'll just get these Game 5 wins that the other
Yeah.
teams aren't capable of.
that's what I'm thinking too. I just feel like they're a really good 2-3-5 team, and 2-3-5 teams. I mean, obviously they're either boom or bust, but we've seen 2-3-5 teams take W's in the past. So I don't know. It just felt really weird for me to see them like be ranked that far low. I don't know. Maybe I'm like too high on them because I could easily be the case too.
I don't know if they deserve to be 12th, but I also don't really think London deserve to be 12th. And I kind of like the Vegas team, but I also think the SMG line is pretty terrible. So, like,
I
I
wouldn't
think
mind
it's
if they
the
were
odds
all
that's
like
disrespectful, bro. Like 100 is twice as much. Like Max is twice as much as Royal Ravens. Like I think that's the more disrespectful thing than being 12.
but yeah, it's someone's got to be 12. You know, someone's gotta be
Yeah, someone has to be 12, but to have twice the odds of Ravens, like
We
I
gotta
don't
be
know, I
careful
feel
because
like
Paul's
that's a
in the
bit
chat
much.
here, so we can't say that they're too bad. Ravens are gonna win champs, baby. Let's go. 50-1, easy. All right, cool. That's gonna do it for the
Who would
main
you put money?
topics.
Who would you put money on for
Me?
champs? Yeah,
Mm,
you can either play it
Seattle.
safe or you can play it smart and try gain a shit ton of money. Which one are you gonna pick?
I might put $10 on Seattle.
$10 on Seattle.
they've got no Novus though. It's chalked.
No Novus. They got Riven now.
Man, this is a good question. If I have to put money on right now, champs winner. Ooh,
I feel like
okay.
the Seattle team we have now is not going to be the Seattle team that's going to be playing at champs. I'll take. I don't know if that's all take.
Exactly. Yeah. I like. How likely is it that a team that is currently formed win? I mean, it happens, I guess, semi-regularly where the team that wins champs started the season the same team, but it's not like that common, you know. So you have to look at the org that might make the move.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say phase because it's boring, and Easy Max probably going to say that anyway.
I'm
probably-
not
I'll
gonna go.
probably-
I'm staying out of this.
I'm going to say OpTic. Fuck it, I'm going to say OpTic.
Damn! Wow,
Oh,
that's
sure.
actually. I
I'm
mean,
gonna say OpTic.
okay. I actually would like to see that happen. I don't have any faith.
I probably
though.
would have said Surge, but Lineman said.
I'm gonna say Thieves back to back, first ever back to back champs
to
winners.
back?
Yeah, I'm actually
That'd
for
be
some
cool to
reason
see.
now like Nature is. I don't know if he always had my respect, but like Nature's been killing it so much lately that I'm actually just like a pretty big 100 Thieves fan. Like I support their Valorant project, and I'm down for this Thieves team to work out again. I think they're going to do the same thing. Like they're going to start out slow, and at the end of the year, they're going to be really good again. Whether they're good enough to win champs, I don't know. But it'd be really interesting to see if like a team could ever go back to back COD champs because never happened.
I
Before.
mean, they've rumored to get Novus, so
Actually,
gotta put a
true.
little bit more stuff. Yeah, it's that
It's
boy.
locked,
Gotta back
baby.
our boy.
GG. Look it in. Yeah. Okay. Interesting question. We will stay tuned on these stories as time progresses. Let's do guess the map, baby. This is going to be fun. This is going to be. I don't know how many we have prepared, Omar, but we're going to do our best. The chat can help.
Do I need to watch the stream, or are
You'll
we- are
need
you
to
gonna share
probably
your
bring the
Look
stream
at
up. Is the easiest thing to do. So we did this before. Some of you guys, of course, will have been here before we do this. Omar brings up a map, and then we have to guess what map it is. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. I think next week we're going to be doing guess the play. So I don't exactly. I mean, they've done this in CS before and stuff. Like Betway have done things where you remove the name of the player, and then you see what's going. Oh,
Wait.
okay, it's already here. The maps arrived.
Is that only hint base DLC or comp?
Oh, so like
Wait.
we get
No.
a hint, and he'll tell us what it is.
It's out of those three. So it's either a base
Oh.
map or DLC map, but you gotta wait for him to give us a hint if we need one.
I have a
So
first
just
thought in
ignore
my
that.
head, but I
Same.
don't know if that's correct.
I'm thinking that's right below. It looks like Advanced Warfare.
Mhm.
It looks like either Riot or Comeback.
Oh, okay. My first thought was Riot, but you might be correct. So I was thinking Riot just because you got the prison thing, right? Actually, these diamonds, I swear they're so recognizable. I swear
It's-
they used to have those on the jump ups on that map.
It's definitely AW. It was the one where they played odd or uplink on. It was
Yeah,
super
Comeback.
small. That's
Maybe
what
it
that
is
one's called.
comeback. Where is
Yeah,
it on
like the
comeback
bunker in the
then?
middle. The bunker in the middle. It's so if you're spawning, if you're looking at the bunker in the middle, and it's the one where you have like the windows up in the corner and the side, like the building with the windows where you would jump out of the top. It was like to like the schoolyard in the back of the corner, right below the uplink portal.
I see what you're saying. It could be there,
Yeah,
but I
so
was
I'm
thinking this
it's-
could be.
It does look like Riot though. You're right. Like it's one of those two.
It's got the chains high up. Like I was thinking, it's like okay, so we
It's
spawn
got
in
a
on
camera
Riot
as well. Security
on-
camera. That has to be
there
Riot.
is. Yeah, you spawn in on Riot on defense. You go to the left, and there's that little tunnel room that goes through to A bomb. If you're just before you get to that room on the left-hand side, that's where I think we are. But I don't know. I don't know if I can really see this on comeback, to be honest. But maybe I'm wrong about that. And it's got the security camera. You got any thoughts, Crane?
I did not play AW.
He didn't play AW.
Yeah, okay. No, true.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
call
yeah.
Riot. I can Riot.
Okay, we might be outnumbering Austin here 2-1.
That's
I
okay.
think
Because I'm
I think
terrible
I
at these.
recognize these diamonds, like
Yeah.
from like even on the other side of the map when you hopped up
Yeah.
onto the top. Like I think they had the diamonds on the side of on there. So okay, and also you can see look at the shadow. Like, you can kind of see like this pole,
Yeah.
this tree thing. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna lock in. Oh wait, did Paulek say? Paulek said favela. Damn, this guy's got to be faded unless we're faded.
Nah. Nah.
It
Okay.
could be favela with like the fences though.
Nah.
It looks
That's
too.
right.
It's coming Modern Warfare 2 though, right? Okay, we're gonna say right. We're gonna say right. Advanced Warfare. Yeah, we'll lock it in. We didn't ask for a hint actually. We have to save our hint, I guess, for next one. Let's go, baby. Is it where I said it was? Oh no, it was in that corner at the back there. Okay, it wasn't quite the corner I said. Or maybe it was the corner I said. Oh no, it was that corner. Okay, I got the wrong corner, but close enough. Close enough. Next to the slide. It's all good, Paul. We go again. We fucking.
You
God,
guys are way
I
too
love
good at
it,
this,
baby.
bro.
I'm back.
Way too good
Oh,
at this.
I know this map instantly, I think. So I'll give you guys
WMD
a second.
on
Okay,
Black Ops 1.
yeah. I think this is
You give me
WMD.
the old
Yeah.
school ones. I'll be good at that.
Yeah, no, sorry, Omar. So this is quick. This is a very specific window. This was my favorite window. I used to go up here with a with C4, put it on the door, and then I would lay down with Last Stand or whatever it was called in that game, and then I would just sit there. And when people would come through the door, they'd kill me, but then I'd blow them up with the C4. Boom, 1 KD. Easy. Yeah, we're actually kind of cracked. If it's the Modern Warfare like obscure maps that we just don't know. All ones from Super back in the day. Oh, this looks like Infinite Warfare. Oh no, maybe this is Payload.
Christ.
What is this? I think this is Payload. Come out of the Black Ops 4, come out of offensive spawn? Or could this be an Infinite Warfare map?
Ooh.
Yeah, Paul's Black Ops 4. My first thought it was like, it looks Infinite Warfare vibes, but I don't know where this would be. It's like, could it be like Frost? But look at the thing on the left there, the like barricade thing. It looks like you come out of spawn on Payload on offense, and you can either go straight or you can go left down the alleyway into the room.
Yeah, I think that is Payload, I think.
Left is out to row. See, Paul reckons it's Payload. But he said
Payload
favela
on
for the other ones.
Payload on BO4.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
4, yeah. What do you think, Cohen? Or is
I
this
played the game a lot. I don't remember that. Unless it's like
Nah,
fucking.
that's right at the
This
back.
is like in
like-
spawn.
Yeah.
Balls deep. Nah, I wouldn't have a clue then. But I did play that map a lot. I like that game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like if it could be like Frost, but I can't think where it would be on the map to be
Nah.
Frost.
No, it's not Frost.
He's just like, absolutely not. Nope.
No.
All right, I think we're pretty solid. It's gonna be Payload, Omar. How many do we have? Okay, we have 2 more. Let's go. I'm hyped. Good job, boys. Yeah, look at that globe. See, I didn't even register that thing was
It
there.
was.
This like globe thing with the
Yeah,
yellow.
neither.
I was trying to think of that globe bit too. What the hell is that?
You don't know this one? This
Oh,
one's
Holy
got,
shit, that's low res.
This
Is
is
bull-
pretty
is
easy,
block?
though.
Is this backlot?
yeah, okay. Paul's got it immediately. Yeah, this is I think so. I think this is Crash from COD 4.
Oh,
The blue building and the
Yeah.
arches. Maybe.
yeah.
No, I think you're right, Paul. My first thought was Crash, but because Austin didn't immediately say it, I'm trying to think like, is there other possibilities here?
No, it is Crash because you're on like
Like,
the.
where are we looking here? You know, like where actually are we on the map?
I thought for backlot for a second because of like the telephone wires that they have everywhere.
Yeah, like the arch made me think Crash, and also there is a blue house on that map, but like I don't exactly know where I'm standing. If this is Crash, yeah, maybe Strike. I don't know. Like what other? It's got to be COD 4, like because you said backlot and stuff. Like what other maps have an arch? There is in fairness that arch on backlot, but this is a distinct arch. It looks like the Crash arch. Any other maps it could be? Strike. Would it be anyone's Strike? Arklov Peak. This is like the res is so low. It's got to be an old school game. There's no way.
Yeah.
No way this
He's
is
really
like.
fucking with us, bro. If this is Argyle Feast, and he like purposely low resed it, so it's like looks
Yeah,
like
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. C-Town MW3. Damn, this. Wow, C-Town. To be honest, I didn't even play MW3.
Oh, really?
So I don't actually want to comment, but you could be right because I thought Crash, but I can't really figure out where I am standing on Crash to see this. To be honest, like, what did C-Town look like? I mean, I've definitely seen gameplay of it, but I'm trying to figure out where. Was it played in comp, C-Town? Interesting. Omar knows that straight off the bat. That's interesting. So if we ask for the hint now and it says comp map, but then comp map doesn't say much because
Oh,
Crash
he did a
also was
video
obviously
on
played
it.
in competitive. He did a video on it. Overgrown COD 4. Damn, could this be overgrown?
Overgrown.
Nah, no.
Where could that be overgrown?
no.
Is there a blue house on C-Town? Does anyone know?
Part of me thinks this is backlot, but then part of me thinks it's definitely not that.
Is that house
art?
blue on your screen? This shit's white on my screen.
Oh, maybe it's my. To be fair, it could be the lighting settings on my
Maybe.
computer. I changed the lighting. Does it look? It
Like
has.
the dress. Is it blue or green?
It still has a blue tinge
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah,
So there's a
it's
bridge on
both.
Overgrown. Oh, maybe that is a bridge. Oh, I see what you're saying. That C-Town map. I remember what it looks like now with the bridge and like the arch under it. I know what you're saying, but oh man, yeah. So there is a blue building on C-Town. C-Town actually might be the shout here. Paulek says that's a bridge. Yeah, that actually might be a bridge with the archway under it rather than the actual archway. That makes sense, right? It can't be Crash. Like, I don't know where the hell I'm standing on Crash to see this. Doesn't make any sense because the arches don't even look like this, and there's no building above it because it goes to the roof.
I don't even know
Why
what
say
C-Town
the
looks
N
like
word
now.
in it?
Yeah, I saw that. I was
Um,
like, bro, what?
Yemen. Where would it be on Yemen? But there's the arch on Yemen, but it doesn't look like this. Oh, does it look like this? Nah, surely not. No, I can't imagine yet. Do we go C-Town?
I mean, we might as well because I don't think anyone knows, really, 100% knows.
No idea.
There's got to be a hint, right? Oh, Omar. What's the hint looking like?
Do we get any heat? Like, is there maybe you could zoom out a bit or
Is
I
the
don't
hint going to help? Base DLC comp map. I feel like that's not going to help.
him probably won't. I mean, what? I mean, it's
Just
going
do
to come
C-Town,
up.
fuck it, just do C-Town.
Yeah, I think
We
we
die,
send
we die.
C-Town. We send C-Town. Thanks to whoever said it in the chat initially, because I would never have thought of that, to be honest. Because I didn't even know what this map was
It
called.
is.
Wow, look at that! Can you believe it? See, this
C-Town,
wasn't
man.
even the bridge that I thought it was.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I thought it.
I must
that
try
bridge
laughing the whole time.
was this bridge right here. Damn, that's actually impressive. Like, that was a really good one, Omar. That was actually tough. We got a Modern Warfare game, but wow,
For
that
some
was
reason,
actually
I can't remember this map for the life
that
of me.
was good stuff. I never played that map in my life. Oh, okay.
What map has a bus on it?
This is Ghosts, I think.
Do you remember the
Is
one
it?
where it was like
Which mapping Ghosts? I want to say it's like Chasm or something. But
You remember the one where like it's like the highway got like hit with a missile and like all the buildings and everything are like broken down in the middle, and
like
then it
flooded?
kinda-
I think it's called. Or maybe I don't know. There's what do you mean? Oh no, that's I think that is Chasm. Is it
Is it?
huge map you're talking about? Like absolutely mega, or not?
No, you think about Black Ops 2, the map that fucking Scump got the 3-piece on.
No. Because this one
Downtown.
had like multiple levels, and there was like the escalator that went down, and then there
Yeah.
was like on both sides of it there was a bus. I think it was AW.
AW done.
No, it definitely wasn't.
Man, this is another really good one. This is really good. So, damn, this is like there's not much to go on here. Also,
Why don't you be Nuketown, bro?
okay.
Or,
Oh
like,
no, yeah,
Piccadilly?
you're thinking of Aftermath maybe from Black Ops 2. That's a good point. Because
No, it wasn't.
Maybe
It
That's
not.
what I
wasn't.
was thinking of.
It
But I
wasn't.
don't.
It
It
wasn't
doesn't
that.
look like this. The buses don't look. They're too colorful. Like, look at guys. You got to look at the colors of this bus, right?
Yeah, it
This
looks
bus
like
is
it's
is an
gosh.
Infinity Ward bus right here. This is
Yeah.
100% an Infinity Ward bus. Like, look at these colors.
Watch it
It's
be
dark.
Piccadilly.
Well,
Piccadilly.
okay. Nah, but
Can you, is there a,
nah, but
can't
this is not
remember
a
Piccadilly.
UK bus. Like, what UK buses auto bus on it? It
Red,
doesn't.
Red would know. Red
You
would
were
know.
right.
Yeah, that's not a London bus,
Chasm.
bro.
It is Chasm. 100% is Chasm.
But so, like, which
Ghosts. It was in
which bus
Ghosts.
is this though? Because there was a bus near the back. You know, there was like on Chasm, there was a tree. You guys might not know Chasm. Like, it was the most like ridiculous map
DLC
ever.
map.
Honestly,
I
no,
loved
I
it.
think it was a base map. How did you love Chasm? There's no way. It had the
Because I used to
underground
get,
metro
that's the one I got
station.
my first like nuke on.
Oh,
Because I was
really?
just
Wow.
yeah, that's one that it had the metro lower part. And on the beginning there was like a glass like bridge that fell that
Yeah.
you could go from like building to building and
Damn,
It-
you
it-
were
you could
built
li-
different if you liked Chasm.
I loved Ghosts. Ghosts was my favorite game.
Yeah, so I think this is in one of the spawns. There's some sort of restaurant, and then just in front of the restaurant, there's like the bus, and you could camp in the bus. Damn, he's on board with Chasm as well. He'd put all his life savings on it. I'm not
I'm
gonna
going
lie.
Chasm.
If this is Chasm, I'm fucking built different because I saw that in like 2 seconds. But it might not be Chasm. But any thoughts, boys? This is kind of before Crone's time again, unfortunately, even though he's an old man.
Yeah, I came in late, boys. I mean, I'll just lock it in. Like this is the one. And what other maps you could think?
Any
you
thoughts,
think
Lion?
it could be?
Nah, I actually have none. I have none.
Chasm fits best in my head, and I don't know. Like there could be another ghost map, maybe.
It's 100% a Ghost map because it looks like the shit quality that Ghost had.
Yeah,
Absolute dumpster
Yeah.
quality.
Is it got like? Is it like fire flying around on there? Like what is that spark?
Yeah,
Like sparks from like a fire. I mean, it kind of could make sense, but I'm also trying to figure out where is Omar
Chasm-
standing to get this shot.
Chasm was like it was like building an earthquake happened and like all the buildings fell next to each other and like that's how like the buses ended up like this and a bunch of other shit.
Yeah, but it looks like
Wow.
he's looking from behind the bus. So like, but I don't know because he's also looking at an angle. So I don't fully understand where he's standing. Like the bus I'm thinking of, I don't think you can stand anywhere to see the shot. But there were also other buses on that map. It wasn't just one bus. This could be the bus on the other side of the map near the actual chasm. Like there was like the end of the map was a chasm and there was like the metro line that was falling off and stuff and the train was falling off and then there was like this big tree that was going out and stuff. That's the bus collapsing into the hole. Yeah, I was thinking that. That was I think that was what I first thought actually this bus was, and then for some reason I thought it was the other side of the map. I think we'll do chasm. I can't think of anything better.
Yeah, lock
And
it in. Eddie.
I'll kick myself if I change my mind. So yeah, let's do it. Non-DLC map. I think it launched with the game as well. I think it was a base map. Oh, it is as well. Car. I'm actually
Too
built
good.
different.
Too good. He's
No,
got
that
it,
was
boy.
Did you get
actually
all
good.
of them?
Owen. You got to tip that one. That was good. I didn't get C-Town. Yeah, look at this. Look at this shot, right? So on the left-hand side there, you've got like where the sewers came out, and then you've like this was the initial Infinity Ward. Like, what the actual hell are you thinking building this map? Like, this was the first map I played that I was like, what are these developers doing? Because it just doesn't make it like there is no flow. There's nothing going on. Like one side of the map is legitimately just a underground station.
Yeah.
Where the train would go, and then there's like a sewer part, and then there's this with the half a bus. So yeah, and then you got the palm tree on the left, or whatever tree that is over the chasm.
Yeah, the palms.
Yeah, honestly, the Tactical Kahoot quizzes, they were they were good. They were good times. Wow, that was actually really good, Omar. Especially good because we got them.
We don't get them
But-
wrong very often, to be fair. Like, do you
No, it
know
just
how many
took a
we've
lot of
had
years
wrong,
to do
Omar?
it.
Yeah, it would just take 9 months.
I
for
guess
each fucking
I
map.
guess we have time and we have the chat. We wouldn't have got C-Town 100% without the chat. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, we got Riot. I wonder whether it should be I don't know timed or is that, I don't know. I don't know if it should be a countdown. But But those were good. I mean, next time I think guess the play might be hard.
Harder.
I don't know.
I
But
Or
think
like
it
a
would definitely be
screenshot
harder.
of like right as they start the clip or something.
guess the map is so good because it's like you have to pick up on the clues, you know. Like I wasn't sure what that map was, but I knew it was an Infinity Ward bus and probably a ghost bus. So then you have to narrow it down. Line clocked it quick, but Rab made him second guess. No, that's fake news. I knew it was right from the word go. Anyway, all good. Thanks everyone for joining. That was really good fun. And thanks boys for coming along. 4-man show. Can you believe it?
The
What a
rare 4-man
performance.
show.
Yeah, the rare
Who
one.
knows when we'll
Hopefully,
see it next?
Crone. Yeah, hopefully you just get a job and then
You'll never see me on here again.
yeah, Crone will be gone
Oh.
forever. But
What?
I mean,
Maybe on
look, we
sick
want
days. Who knows?
Crone sick day, every week for the podcast. But yeah, I mean, just get a job where you can take Wednesday morning off easy.
There we go.
Hope so.
But yeah, I mean, look, we want Crone to get a position, so everyone eats, you know.
Thanks.
Yeah, final thoughts,
Alright.
boys, before we close out. Let's go.
There's not much going on in the next
nothing.
week. Obviously, the following weekend we've got the Black Ops 2 tournament. So in 2 weeks' time, we're breaking that down.
I think
guess we'll
it's
make
my
some
birthday
content
on that day, so I don't know if I'll be watching.
Or it will be the
depressing
best
watching.
birthday present ever.
Yeah,
An OpTic
not at all.
Scumpy wins. Let's go.
What a gift. Yeah, but what about you, Austin?
It's just chilling from here on out, man. I got the Halo Worlds coming up, and then waiting for
We're actually,
But
Wait
yeah,
for the
that'll be
campaign to
that'll
come
be
out.
fun.
because
I'm probably more excited for Halo Worlds than the BO2 tournament, if I'm being honest.
Really.
Yeah.
See, I'm actually one of the things I'm weird. I love playing the campaign as soon as the game comes out, so I'm actually like hella excited for the campaign to come out early, because usually what sucks is that when the game comes out, I'll play the game until I get tired, like multiplayer, until I get tired with it, and then I'll like transfer over to the campaign. But this year the campaign comes out 7 days before the actual game comes out, so I'm actually really excited to beat the campaign
about
before the
MW2?
game comes out. Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know. I've never played a campaign.
Yeah, see, a lot of people
Whoa.
don't. But that's my
Crazy.
shit. I actually really like playing it, so I'm really excited to play it.
Facts.
Yeah, I think New Zealand gets the game early, like every year, so I might
yeah,
stream it.
true.
Yeah, we do.
Man. Are you getting it, line man? Just
Hell
enjoy
no.
There was no
Nah,
hesitation.
I might
course
need a
not.
GoFundMe to buy the game. Jesus.
Business
Sure, Steve can
expense,
get
I
it
think.
I mean, I'll watch COD. I've watched COD every year. I live and breathe for watching comp COD, but I don't play the game anymore.
That's fair.
No.
You play any games?
on.
Nah.
No, none. Oh, simulators like racing sims, but that's it.
Yeah. Time zone.
I would give crimsix a run for his money, bro. I would destroy him.
He's actually got the setup going, I'm not gonna lie.
No, I know, but all that money doesn't mean shit if you just need a G27 and I'd smoke.
Damn. Wow, okay. The gauntlet has been laid down.
Oh, no, when I saw him get the full setup, I was proud of him because it looks sick. Like, genuinely. And the stream setup, I've been watching some of his iRacing streams. He's pretty good. He is pretty good. Sure. But, you know.
He's got a nice car in real
Not
life.
me.
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. Better car than me.
All right, cool. Thanks all for watching. Give us a like, you know how it is. Hit the subscribe button. We smashed through 20k recently on the YouTube, so I'd love to see it. If you're watching on the audio platforms as well, the 5-star reviews or whatever you do on those are appreciated. And we'll be back to keep the off season entertaining. And the game honestly is not far away, to be honest. Like, it feels like the off season hasn't actually been on for that
3
long.
weeks away, right?
And
Like,
it's actually
Yeah,
really close to the game coming
yeah.
out. So
man, that's crazy. This can be fun. I love when we launch a new game. So fun, like trying to figure out like how to play it and the maps and all those types of things.
It's gonna be
and
good.
metas.
yeah.
It's always fun.
S&D is the best part, man. First week or
Yeah.
two of the game when you get to watch all the S&D
Keep going.
tourneys.
all the clips, all the 1v3s, the 1v4s. It's
There was a load of like
even
1v4s
someone
right
like
there
me.
at the start of last season.
yeah, there
Yeah,
were heaps.
everyone thought that was gonna be so easy to clutch last season because there were
There
so
was a
many at the
fair
beginning
few
of the year.
clutches, to be fair, but I mean, this is the one thing about like Black Ops 4 is that it was impossible to clutch. Like people legit hopping off maps in 1v2s and stuff. It's kind of sad. But not the case with Fast Time to Kill. That's going to do it. Thanks for watching as always. Take care, and we'll see you next time.